and then he comes in with the box.
Oh
my gosh, I got a little emotional.
Man,
like Nintendo. It was like Nintendo. Like
ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Obliterating social norms and overrunning the cultural corrosion with righteous rhetoric and common sense. This is Overflow, the extended conversation covering life, today's newsbreakers, and the occasional banter with the most interesting members of the human species. Signaling from the conservative chasm of Central Valley, California. It's the outlaws your conscience warned you about. Let's welcome your hosts, Loto and PhillVill.
It's like one of my favorite comedians said, can't believe it, Phil. It is episode 24. Wow, man, I can't believe this is number 24, bro. And it's just amazing, brother. We made it past 2, and somehow we ended up here, man. You know, so how you 24. Doing, bro? Last episode, man, it was short and tweet. I believe that this week is going to be long and tweet. In fact, PhillVill, why don't you drop the drip?
All right, so what we got first, our weekly must, but this time +1 splash. We're talking about that with the Dave Chappelle, and a special quote from a special president, and it'd be surprising who that is. Project Veritas strikes again. Popeyes, an unpleasant treat. A transition. Yeah, very Disney. Kirk Cameron, the bombshell. Brittany Griner, a win for the national anthem. Somewhere close to home, Madera, special tribute. Happy birthday to a special one. And a wormhole in the most unexpected place. And for the extended conversation, we'll be discussing the top 10 most expensive Christmas gifts in the world. And again, in the Christmas season, Dodo, I know that you got to give us a follow-up on what we talked about last week on Scrooge. What's taking place there?
It was awesome, PhillVill. We had a great show opening. We remember the Winter Wonderland we used to do way back when.
Oh, that's the big toy giveaway, right?
Toy giveaway.
Hundreds and hundreds of kids come out.
Yeah.
And they dressed the whole place up and lights everywhere. Yes. And there's a lot of characters. There's like several dozen, if not 100 characters.
There's over 100 characters, 12 different scenes, you know. And the really cool thing about this, what makes it really special and unique is these are kids that are coming from Title I schools. And so the schools actually help pick the kids because they work with these kids and they know which kids come from family that have the greatest, you know, that in the greatest need. That way, you know, we make sure that we're meeting needs out there, you know. So this is going to be really, really cool, bro.
I love seeing, don't you love seeing the kids' reaction every time they open the gift? Their eyes get so big, and sometimes they even cry just of happiness.
Yeah, it's amazing, bro. Just so you know, the family understands what we're saying is, imagine a kid walking into this room or this big old place, and they walk in and it literally looks like Winter Wonderland. Everything is decked out. You have gifts everywhere. They get escorted, you know, they get like a tour, 12 different scenes, man. They've got all kinds of decorations, and then they get a gift themselves. And like you said, bro, it's amazing just watching them, you know, open up that gifts and their response and expression. It's priceless and timeless, brother.
You know what's timeless is that the play Scrooge. And I got it. Did they, come on, tell me, did they try recruiting you for Tiny Tim?
No, they actually tried to recruit me for other things. I did apply for video camera, but you know, they said maybe next year.
Okay,
so I don't know why. I mean, I think I'm completely qualified, you know. But
Well, I'm glad they didn't get you for the video camera, but you know, we just want to give a quick shout out. Thank you.
Why is that, Phil? Like, why? I mean, now I feel a little bit discriminated. Why would I not be good enough for video cameras?
You know, because your pronouns. I think your pronouns are.
You just dropped another drip. We're gonna get into that a little bit. Yeah, but no.
What do you identify as sighted?
I identify. It depends on which drive-through I'm in. That's what it depends on. Yeah, it depends on which drive-through.
I don't know.
You know, like if they're having like a girl special, I'm totally, you know, and then if they have a football special, you know, I'm a football dude and all that. So it just depends on which drive-through I'm in.
Okay, pronouns. Yeah, that's a whole different thing on that. But sorry to open that can of worms. We'll talk about that, but. Speaking of cameras, and I want to give a shout out. We have a special guest today filling in, Kobe, the Kobe.
Yes.
Kobe filling in on the
Thank you,
cameras.
Kobe.
Give it up for Kobe. Yeah, good job.
Woo!
Thank you for filling in.
Amen.
He's been starting some movies. There's Dune and Dune Part 2 coming out soon.
Yes.
He's been part of that.
I hear that they have his double on there. Yeah, I hear that.
His double? Yes.
Yeah, they have his double.
Yeah.
In a lot of the
He's a
parts.
stunt double.
But
Yeah,
he's actually the lead. Yes, yeah.
He puts his hand in there. His hand stunt double.
I don't even want to know any more about that. That's okay. All right, that's fine.
But yeah, we have a great show. But before that, I gotta share with you. This past weekend, my wife and I and my mother-in-law, but of course, little Mia, we went back to Disneyland.
Yeah,
we were blessed to. It's a whole long story how God just opened the door, but we went back over there. Had a great time, but I have to admit it was a little challenging. It was, even though we enjoyed the lights, she enjoyed the big tall Christmas tree. She's like, wow. You ever been on a trip with a sick, fussy toddler? No bueno.
No bueno. And I'm not going to say anything else because that little toddler is going to be 16 years old and I want her mad at me when she turns 16 years old.
But, it just breaks her heart. And I remember one night she was coughing through the whole night. I think mom only had an hour of sleep. But we did have a good time on some moments, but I'm glad we went. But I feel really bad for my daughter. She's feeling better now.
Yeah, but that's the worst.
Yeah,
we have a friend who just came back from Hawaii, spent a couple of days out there, and was sick for the last 2 days. Like, man, that's so sad. Like, nothing ruins a trip. I don't know if they had the flu or what, but
'tis the season.
For Mia though, it's
just going
definitely
around.
the season. So. Yeah. How is she? She better?
She's a whole lot better. So
good.
She's happy with her Angry Birds.
Does she remember that she even went?
She does because she has the little Mickey Mouse bubbles.
Oh,
so
good. Okay.
That's the thing. We could go and see all the rides, see all the attractions and everything. But, when she sees a flower, that's, a flower.
She really is, though, isn't she? Like flowers, rocks, anything outdoor.
Everything. But you know what? Yeah. I had to take that back as far as the ride. There's one attraction she loves is the Little Mermaid.
Oh,
wow. It was a 5-minute wait. So we went there and we actually went on a second time. And I have a video. It just shows her just like her eyes just looking at everything. And when we went, not just the second time, we went a third time. The third time, there were some things happening. The ride stopped. We ended up being a 15-minute ride.
Oh, wow.
She started crying. But in the middle of the last quarter, she fell asleep on the ride.
Oh,
I've never seen that, but yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of man, I just got some terrible news. Some heartbreaking news about Splash Mountain.
Oh, yes. Splash Mountain. We thought about it. Splash Mountain, if you haven't heard, is closing down after several decades of being open, being a new attraction there.
I was there when it first opened.
Yeah, I know. In 1920, what?
No, that's the other Splash Mountain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But no, that was, man. I mean, that was one of my favorite memories,
that.
Bro. Yeah.
It's like Small World meets roller coaster at the very end. We were gonna go on it, but we didn't want to get wet. It's too cold out there.
You're right. Yeah. Another cool thing, bro, is we had a dinner last Wednesday, man. A brother of ours, I don't want to shout out his name because I don't want to embarrass Jeff Wu. But man, no, seriously, he had like a really nice dinner banquet style, very fancy, and he invited people, and we were thinking like, is everything okay? What's up with this? And it was awesome, bro. The most beautiful thing wasn't the dinner, wasn't the decor or the food was amazing, but the most beautiful thing is the reason why he put that dinner on. He was talking about how we always wait till the funeral to share our best memories, to share our best, with that person that's in the casket. He didn't want to wait for that. He wanted to share, just his gratitude and just how much he loved, the people in his life, while they were still alive and they were still around. To be able to appreciate it and to experience it with him, man. So it was really, really cool.
Man, I have probably a lot of not dry eyes in that room, huh?
Yeah, bro. There was a few people that got up to, just kind of share. It was so hilarious because he did it to honor everybody else, but man, it ended up, people just got up and started sharing, about him, which really, man, it's easy to talk some good things about somebody who does good things for everybody else, So it was just an awesome experience, brother. great, to share that. And what a great lesson, that don't wait, till it's too late.
Jeff Wu, we know that he just makes a big difference here in the community with the youth, and he's a lot in ministry, huge legacy he has contributed here locally.
Yeah, matter of fact, we have a related story coming up, later in the show.
Well, it's time for...
It's your news makers and breakers.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the richest man in the world. Cheers and booze, I see. Elon.
Hey, Dave.
Controversy, buddy.
Weren't expecting this, were you?
It sounds like some of them people you fired are in the audience.
Somebody get everybody around the water in that place because they just got burned.
Even the left is celebrating freedom of speech. I mean, they're just... Musk has actually been in a few shows I've seen with Dave Chappelle.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I know that this is a lot of people are really irritated, upset. We talked about it last week and it's continuing this week, that Musk is causing a huge ruckus and people are afraid, Lodo.
Yeah, but it's like you said, it's very encouraging. But that's the amazing thing, right? Because the left used to be really about the freedom of speech, and they used to be completely anti-government.
Yeah.
So it's really eye-opening, no pun intended. That the tables have kind of turned.
Yeah, and we've seen it now revealed that the shadow banning that back in the day, and I'm gonna say back in the day, just a year or two ago, that it was just a right-wing conspiracy. Oh, there they go, making out the conspiracy. They're shadow banning. They're limiting speech. Oh, it's not happening. Now, part of the shadow banning, there was a group that made up of Jack Dorsey himself, and Jack Dorsey's saying that he wasn't part of the limiting speech under oath, but we saw that he said there was no such thing, but he was actually the one authorizing this.
Yeah. Again, there's those who say that Jack Dorsey didn't want anything to do with it. So we're not sure if they're trying to play ignorant or what. But yeah, very interesting. This is exactly why there should be some kind of looking into these things so we can get to the bottom of this, because we cannot have, we consider Twitter, social media, Facebook, all of these things as part of the town square. And we have to make sure that, man, that the town square, everybody's, able to share freely and all that, and if there's somebody that's censoring, or like we said last week, you consider themselves the gateway of the truth and all that, then that needs to be pointed out, because people need to understand where the information is coming from, but probably more importantly, who it's coming from.
Speaking of who, the Twitter files reveal that the infamous Trump ban came from, guess who? It's the Netflix star Michelle Obama.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I mean, the former first lady, I should say. She pressured the company herself, and she was revealed that the plan was to get rid of Trump off of Twitter long before January 6th. They're just trying to not make a case, just trying to have any excuse. That was the plan already. It was premeditated.
Yeah, so there is a military tactic where you draw your enemy into a box, and it's called a kill box. And once you get them in there, then, and so it kind of sounds like there might have been a little bit more than just her involved with all of this. And again, bro, this is not just theory, right? There's no longer a conspiracy.
Yeah.
This is documented, and the guy is dropping all the receipts.
Yeah, there's some saying that we got to come up with some new conspiracy theories, because all the conspiracy theories are actually proven real theories now.
Is that Bongino?
Yes, Dan Bongino. There's no more conspiracy theories. We need more ones. All right, that's a horrible.
He's not too far from the
yeah, but it's true. But you know what? There's both sides of the aisle. I love it. Again, we're not advocates for one party. We're advocates for freedom. We're advocates for, hey, there's common ground that we could stand for our families. There's common things for our faith, but also too for freedom and liberty. And there's a Democrat here, a great quote from Senator Mark Warner. He says, "I don't care if you're coming from the Democrat side or the Republican side. We ought to find some common cause on putting some common guardrails around these social media platforms." Lodo?
No, that is so awesome, brother. That I keep saying, that there's Democrats out there, who doesn't believe what the extremist believes, and again, it's the same with Republicans who don't believe what the extremist, believes in either party. And I know this because I know Democrats that are amazing people. I mean, some of my favorite people in the world, and so it's encouraging to see them come back and to really step up. Brother, I've said it a couple of times, man, Democrats need to take their party back. And it's good to see that it's happening.
Speaking of which, a famous Democratic president,
yes,
John F. Kennedy, is a famous quote that he shared. This will be controversy if he said this today. It might be banned from Twitter, by the way. But a nation that is afraid to let its people judge the truth and falsehood in an open market is a nation that is afraid of its people.
This is so cool that this quote came up, from JFK. I've actually been thinking a lot about, just with politics and just all the revelations coming out. And it's really sad, bro, because me personally, I honestly believe that JFK was the last of his kind when it comes to, defining a Democrat. You said it, if he shared his views today, he would be considered, ultra right, pretty much. He would be considered all these things that they're trying to label us. And again, this is John F. Kennedy. I'm encouraged, again, that, Democrats are starting to step up and take their party back. We should have a 2-party system, or 3 or 4. I think having a 1-party system is dangerous for everyone.
An elite private school in Chicago is facing online criticism after a dean was apparently recorded by a right-wing activist group.
You mean journalism group?
Talking about the school's sex ed programming. Francis Parker School in Lincoln Park is the latest target of Project Veritas.
You mean news subject?
One of its contributors recorded a video that appears to show the school dean saying sex toys were shown to students as part of a discussion.
You mean passing around?
The school released a statement saying Parker's Board of Trustees supports the inclusivity of its curriculum. A school spokesperson said the dean was filmed without his knowledge or permission.
You mean he's being honest?
While describing one example of our inclusive LGBTQ+ affirming and comprehensive approach to sex education. Project Veritas deceptively edited the video.
This is a local media outlet, and you would think they will be applauding a news source that infiltrated the school that revealed to parents that they're handing out sex toys to their children, but they made the one that was exposing them the bad guy.
Yeah, bro, this is sad. This is the reality and the conditions that we're in right now. But, this next story kind of, in a crazy way, kind of shows me that there's hope.
Well, I don't know about hope, but I know about there's disgusting roaches found in a particular restaurant. A DoorDash driver showed a video of a Popeyes in Detroit and revealed some disgusting roaches, and the restaurant closed down. I don't know would you feel when you saw roaches there? And the quote from the article, Lodo, do you want bugs with that?
Gross.
Yeah, that is pretty gross. Now, you might be wondering, those of you that are watching, what does roaches and Popeye and got to do with Veritas and that story previous? Here's the thing. I know that I'm not the only one who's getting really tired of politics and all that, and wondering like, man, we talked to somebody else earlier, Philip, and they're explaining like how, man, it seems like everything is political now, which is true, but I want to explain why. In the last episode, we talked about, someone comparing the media to, people that consider themselves gateway, to the truth. And they're the one that's going to let us know, their version of the truth and tell us how much of the truth that we should have and all that. Well, this is the media here, or what I would consider the media cartel. The worst thing that happened to the media cartel is the internet, PhillVill. Once the internet, was turned on, everybody had access to information, and even information that the quote unquote gatekeepers try to keep from us, So everybody was able to do their own research. Everybody was able to share their own information. And because of that, people got wised up. And so things are getting exposed. And now we start seeing like, wow, everything is political. No longer are we watching movies. No longer are we watching cartoons. No longer are we watching commercials, listening to music, watching all these different entertainment things, and not realizing that, wow, there's an agenda here. Now we know that there is, because they have been exposed. Just like when you turn the light on and you see the roaches scattering, and so that's why these shows are important. Things like the podcasting and all that, because you know what podcasting is. You know what the YouTube videos are, the short clips, the new news media, the now news media, that's coming up. What they are, they're that spray that gets the rest of the roaches. That those roaches aren't just gonna get away now and go create more roaches. No. Now you have podcasts. Now you have other types of media that's turning on the light and continue to expose them. And man, thank God that now we're getting rid of them. You look at CNN. CNN has suffered so much, man. They're firing people left and right. We don't want anybody to lose their jobs, but because that place was built on a lot of the misinformation. Now they have to be held accountable. Now they're being held accountable. Matter of fact, we have another story coming up about another network who's doing the same thing, and they too will be held accountable. But PhillVill, internet was the worst thing that happened to the media cartel, and all these other shows, podcasts, and all the new media, the real media, like Project Veritas, James O'Keefe, and these guys.
Yeah.
Now they're spray team coming in with that bug spray, because no, I don't want bugs with my truth.
Disinformation has been used so much. That's like the excuse. That's the card now that the left, many on the left, not all, have been using to silence those who are just wanting to have a free exchange of ideas. And now the Project Veritas is trying to expose real truth, and other people are trying to just communicate not their truth, but trying to communicate information, and then being silenced under the banner of disinformation. Now we're finding out that actually the disinformation, the misinformation is now on the other side. He flipped it around by all the Twitter files we talked about earlier. Yeah. And now we're seeing fast forward, a story that first came to light about 10 years ago, that a Navy SEAL became famous after coming out as trans, is now announcing that he is detransitioning. And he quotes, "Everything you see on CNN with my face, do not even believe a word of it." Chris Beck, formerly known as Christine Beck, told conservative influencer Robbie Starbuck, "Everything that happened to me for the last 10 years destroyed my life. I destroyed my life. I'm not a victim. I did this to myself, but I had help. I had help." Lodo, who's been complicit in this agenda?
Yeah. The media cartel, bro. It's like I said, the light was turned on. That's why it's always this doesn't happen. Like everything just became political just all of a sudden. No, it's been political. Everything has been political. The difference today and back then, the light is turned on. Internet came along and exposed everything. Everybody's able to share the information now. It's a free flow for the most part, but that's why PhillVill, they're trying to choke off the internet now, and they're trying to take control of the internet and all that. And we see it happen with CNN. We see it happen with other networks, But I'm glad for this man. I'm sorry that he had 10 years that he regrets. But I'm glad that he's coming out with his truth. With the truth about this terrible thing that can happen to a person.
CNN applauded him, made him a hero when he transitioned. And he was saying that the CNN is complicit, basically, without being that direct. But he's basically throwing him under the bus, saying that he had help with that. And now he's trying to make things right.
And I'm sorry, man. And unfortunately, I'm concerned for him now, because if he thought the last 10 years was bad, because he's coming out this way, man, I dread what he's going to go through, PhillVill, for the next, for the immediate future, because everybody went from loving him. And just like Elon Musk, I'm not sure how he's going to be treated after this. Now that he's coming against their agenda, it's like, dude, just let the guy have his say. Let him share his information. Yeah. Let him share his feelings, his thoughts. We don't need gateways to tell us how much of his truth we can listen to, or what if he. So no, it's a big mess. But like I said, there is hope, because the light has been turned on.
Even in the schools, we've seen parents standing up and saying, we don't want certain storytelling happening because they've been having a lot of drag queens, drag festivals, reading books, wearing thongs, wearing outrageous sexual things in the school, reading books. But there's a satire that we're gonna show here from Babylon Bee is popping up on the screen here. Here we have Kirk Cameron in the blonde wig, and from the Babylon Bee, and the headline says, "Library kids excited to hear story read by mysterious new drag queen Kirk Dalzell Glamouroni." Oh, that's taking a stab, right? At what's actually taking place because they don't want Christianity. Somebody reading a book about faith, but they'll allow drag queen and sexual acts being read in the public school.
In the public school, in the libraries, he's just asking for the same rights that they're giving to somebody else, So again, this is crazy. I'm sorry, bro. I'm trying to erase a picture from my head right now because I remember how Kirk Cameron, I used to watch what was it, Growing Pains, and I think he was a blonde back then.
Yeah, on Instagram, the headline just read, but the description it says, "Hey, wait, is he carrying a Bible?"
Wow.
And
yeah.
Big swipe right there.
But I really thank God for this guy. I mean, he was at the pinnacle. He was at the height of his career. And he could have just called his own. He had a blank check, but he chose to take a stand for the God that he believes in, man. And what a role model, man. We need more Kirk Camerons in this world.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's the number one Christian actor of the Christian movies.
Wow. Not surprised.
The number one headline we know we're hearing about is becoming about a great hero that was released from Russia, the great Brittany Griner.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? But we do celebrate that any American, no matter what they believe, where they stand at, we're glad an American was released. But the conditions were kind of a little questionable, Otto.
Bro, my response is this is almost like President Biden's Bo Bergdahl. I don't know if you remember Bo Bergdahl, but he was the guy that we also traded.
That's right.
For the 4 Talibans. I think it was 5. I think only 4 did. I forget the exact details. And it was amazing because we traded him for all of them. Like you said, we're glad when any American comes home. We're thankful for that. This guy actually admitted to deserting his post.
And we let people who were killing Americans.
Yeah.
We traded him for that.
Yeah.
We saw a report from the NBC that they retracted that the Biden administration had a choice to release the hero, the veteran, or Brittany.
Yes, again, we would love for both of them to come home, but when you consider what with the exchange and the magnitude of it, we got Brittany home. I'm thankful for that. My concern is the guy that we traded her for, and that's a world renowned, pretty much a number one. Actually, he used to be number 2, right, PhillVill?
Yeah, he was number 2 behind Osama bin Laden. He was
for weapon trading. Yes,
he had a $1 billion cartel basically with weapons.
My concern is who we traded her for.
Yeah,
this is the number one guy with weapons dealing.
The merchant of death, they call him.
Yep, he's a weapon dealer, merchant of death. And it's just amazing to me that this administration is so anti-Russia and just clamoring about Russia's attack on Ukraine, and they traded Russia's number one weapons dealer. Think about that.
Yeah, he's on TV. He's being promoted as a hero. He's well off now.
I wish we would have bought all of the Americans on. I wish we bought Brittany and Paul. What was it, Whelan? That we bought both of them home. Yes, yeah. Because he's, I mean, it would have been awesome, to bring both of them home. But again, my concern is what we traded them for.
Okay, back at the border, there is a controversy continuing taking place. We know that there's border security that's been in the headlines for a couple of years now. And Title 42 is going to be ending, but there's a new thing that's taking place that ICE is being instructed. The officers are urged now to ease up, watch this, on criminal arrests ahead of the expected border surge. Lodo?
Yeah, actually, Title 42 is not going to be ending. It's supposed to be ending because the judge already ruled that it was unconstitutional, but they're just going to ignore it, and move forward with it. And that's why we're going to have even more of the immigration here, the illegal immigration. So yeah, and like you said, Phil, it's crazy, right? So they're telling the officials, do not arrest anybody on this side of the border, anybody here, because they need to leave the detention beds, open, for the illegal immigrants. Who in the world is in charge of all this?
We have a win for those who are taking stand for honoring our national anthem. Again, we believe in freedom, believe in choice, but a judge does approve a lawsuit by ex-Virginia Tech soccer player. Allegedly, she was benched for refusing to kneel during a national anthem. She was told she must kneel. The judge has now approved to move forward with the case.
Man, I'm brother, I've noticed, that a lot of our sports nowadays is not being convoluted, with a lot of the political stuff. So I'm enjoying, football again, even though my team is doing terrible, but I'm enjoying I enjoy just some good old sports.
Okay, next we have a pretty crazy, outrageous story in the New York Post. Here's a headline. My earache was actually a potentially fatal revolting infestation. Although they found out that what was happening in the ear was an infestation of a bunch of worms in the ear.
Huh?
Gross.
Yes, a Portuguese man was shocked. And
huh? What?
Are you picturing that right now? Or what?
Talk about a wormhole, man. It's so nasty. What?
I'm watching the video right now. You can see it all moving. You think it's earwax by just like looking at it at first glance, and you see like a cluster of worms.
No,
it look like maggots. I don't know.
Is it maggots?
It looks like it to me. It's disgusting that it's on the screen right now. According to the paper, the 64-year-old patient had reported to the hospital after experienced pain, itching, and bleeding in the left ear for 5 days. I will have somebody look at that ear.
Yeah, bro. Oh my gosh. I have a question.
Yes.
Would you rather bite into an apple that has a wormhole in it with half a worm or no worm?
What? Say it again.
So would you rather bite into an apple that has a wormhole in it with half a worm in it or no worm?
No worm.
That means you ate the whole worm, you sicko.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that was it's quite disgusting. It revealed that the man's auditory passage was infested with numerous mobile larvae.
I just can't is he better? No brain damage, right? Like that's
I don't know. He ended up like growing some wings and then became a superhero and began to fly around.
Oh my gosh. Hey, more power to him, man.
Yeah.
If that's what it takes to be a superhero, I'm good.
Okay, happy birthday to Jonathan. This is a very unique birthday. Jonathan, the tortoise, world's oldest land animal, celebrates, get this, his 190th birthday.
What?
190th. What is this turtle like? What's his regimen? Wow. How did
190 years old? Is that human years?
Yeah, human years.
Wow.
He's been around since 1832. He was brought there to the island in 1882 as a gift. And so they had documentation showing his age. So, man, can you imagine living to 190 years old? I don't know if I want to live that long.
Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder which one he is. I wonder if he's Donatello, Lorenzo, or Raphael, or Michelangelo.
It says, he probably eats a lot of pizzas.
Yeah.
Stay around.
That's probably, there you go.
Best friend,
that's his secret.
Yeah, has a rat
it's
as a
pizza.
best friend. Yeah.
Yes, yep. Mentor. He has a rat for that's his
sensei.
Yes. No, but that's his secret. Is all the pizza.
I was gonna say that the song just escaped me, but I wasn't gonna go Power Rangers, but that's nowhere near Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that you know that song, even if you don't like them.
Did you watch Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, I watch Ninja Turtles every morning.
Yeah, did you watch it? Yeah, okay.
We matter of fact, we had the kids over, Nettie's kids over, and we were just watching the 80s version of the original Ninja Turtles.
The original, yes,
so
the
that
new
was
one.
Awesome.
Well, that's it for
It's your new makers the breakers.
Man, PhillVill, it is Christmas season, man. And I was looking forward to this. We got some crazy gift givers out there. You know what? Before we get into that, we're going to talk about the 10 most expensive Christmas gifts in the world. Do you have a favorite Christmas gift that you could remember?
Oh man, there's quite some memorable ones. But I remember one year I got a Thundercat. I was so excited to have a Thundercat, and then another present opened up. It was another Thundercat. I ended up having about 10 Thundercats. I think that's where I found my love for Thundercats.
Awesome.
I have them over there. Yeah, so that was one. But
okay, wait, which Thundercat? Lionel, Panther?
Oh, Lionel, definitely. It was a
Awesome.
Lionel, and I guess Panther was up there too.
Panther. Did you have the claw?
I'd have the claw. It came with it. Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. And you put the little light behind it and the eyes will glow.
Nice, man.
Yeah. And my wife and I still go, snarf, snarf. Snarf, snarf, like, you know.
Well, they tried to reboot it, but I think it was only one season.
It was okay. It was.
Yeah.
I really wish to do a live action movie with that one. But
They were talking about it.
Yeah.
I think there was rumors that Brad Pitt was going to be Lionel.
I saw that it was on YouTube. That was a fan who created that.
Yes,
basically,
yes,
it was a. I have one more, if it may, but I remember.
No, of course, yeah. You know me and memories, man.
I remember. I have to admit, my late mom. I know she would put the gifts and hide them in the closet in the master bedroom. I don't know if anybody here would like sneak in and peek at look for those gifts.
Never did that, brother.
Yeah. Okay.
Never,
yeah.
Not me.
But I remember I was so excited because and I played it off when it became time to Christmas, but I saw the Nintendo. The Nintendo.
Oh my
the first Nintendo.
gosh.
Now that was with Super Mario Brothers for those,
Yes, and Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt, yes. And I had the one with the little pads where you put your feet really fast and you run and jump, and yeah, it was high tech for the day. But
Yes, man.
I was so excited. I didn't tell nobody. When my parents opened it up, I was like, "Oh, is that it? Okay, thank you." I was hamming up with all the other gifts, but like I remember my dad like, "Okay, we're done," and then he comes in with the box.
Oh
my gosh, I got a little emotional.
Man,
Nintendo.
bro.
It was like Nintendo. Like,
yes.
What about you? You any favorite ones?
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, like that Nintendo. Yeah, I remember when we first got. I was with my cousins, my brothers, and we they got the Nintendo, and man, we just played that thing forever. It seemed like, and that was gosh, man. That's one thing about being blind, man, that I do miss. Yeah. And it's playing video games, bro. Oh my goodness. I would get in trouble, because of it. 2, 3 in the morning, people come out. What are you doing? I mean, I was just a gamer. And they didn't have Twitch, which is probably a good thing, but back then,
Yeah.
As far as, I'll share a memory, and this is this is a public educational thing, right?
Oh, okay.
Just warning people out there. So I remember me and Maria's first Christmas. I'm not sure if I shared this story before, but I'm a Christmas tree guy. I love Christmas trees, right? And we are just barely, got married. We're barely starting up a family, so I didn't have, too big of a pocket change.
Yeah.
So I went to the store with old Johnny, an old friend of ours, and we got this little 3-foot tree. That came in a pot. Yeah. And I bought it home. It's like, man, I was grateful for it, but it's like, it's a 3-foot tree. Like, come on. We can't I have to do something to make this better, So we were going to put snow on it. And we went to the store and grabbed a couple of white spray can, spray paint. Yeah. We're in a 1-bedroom apartment. The room is extremely small. Me and Johnny's in there just spraying down this Christmas tree and putting all of the white that we could put on it. And nobody thought to crack the window open.
No.
I mean, I was way into this thing, right? Yeah. I'm like, this is my first Christmas, man. Man, we're gonna, this is gonna be nice, and so the learning part, audience or extended family is crack the window open. Crack the window open, because when we came out, I think I skipped Christmas, New Year's. I went all the way to like the next year's Halloween, like in 2 minutes, So yeah, that was.
I can't even picture what you're doing. What you probably got in trouble for some things there. But wow, that is crazy.
Yeah. So, anyways, man, we got that list, brother.
Yeah, I gotta ask this. What about you getting the gift? What was the best response that you like saw or you bought for somebody and like?
You know what, bro? JJC. JJC.
Okay.
Man. When we excuse me, when we did dinner, last year. Matter of fact, I got an announcement coming out soon because we're just asked, about doing Christmas again this year.
Mm-hmm.
We there was a little bit of miscommunication, so we weren't really planning on it, but we were asked to participate. So it's we're gonna provide Christmas, some kind of Christmas for the kids. There's another agency that's also going to be doing it. So family, I'm gonna be asking you guys for help pretty soon. But yeah, man, last year we took Christmas to them. I thank God for all of our supporters out there. Cornerstone Fresno, shout out to you. Adventure Church, man, always ready and willing to step up. Word Community with Pastor Coleman out there, man, always just faithful, man, with the support. We all came together, man, and we're able to provide them just the nicest Christmas dinner, bro. I mean, they had a beef. Yeah, what was it? Like pot roast. They had like pot roast. We gave them a pot roast, pilaf. I mean, just the whole fixings. Pastor Cindy came in, man. We brought a worship team in there, and they did Christmas caroling and all that, brother. And PhillVill. I mean, just so what we did was the team went in, right? The team went into each pod and they served them the dinner, spent some time with them, and then we would just go from pod to pod to pod because we only had Pastor Cindy singing. But man, as soon as we stepped in, you could just feel the appreciation. I mean, those kids were just so blessed and they were so grateful, bro. I mean, you talk about a great response, man. It's something I will never forget. I remember that like it was just yesterday, man. And that right there broke down so many walls, and it just, I mean, they were so grateful, man. And like I said, brother, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget. I'm excited about this week. We'll be taking them some fiesta Christmas. We'll be doing tamales, paluces, and all
right there.
That. So if any of y'all want to help with that, please go to lotoministries.com and find the a donate tab or a link, and then if you want to pitch in, man, we could use all the help that we get because we want to make sure these kids have a fantastic Christmas. But yeah. That was a response, brother, that really sticks out to me, man.
Okay. I want to share mine, but after you shared yours, I mean, it's just like, that was like deep in the whole another level. That I could see that's really blessed.
Gratitude is gratitude, brother.
Gratitude.
Tell me about yours.
Okay. Well, I will share one. Okay. Context. For my wife over the years, when we're dating, I bought her some jewelry. I bought her a bracelet, of course, a ring, and I bought her clothes. I remember, I think I worked really hard and I got her like $1,000 of clothes. And with the sister's help, they picked all these clothes and did all this stuff for her. And it's like, she very, thank you. Great. Just, if you know my wife, she's not very emotional maybe, or, but she's very honoring. She's a lot of gratitude. But, and fast forward, we've been married a few years now, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy her this one thing. I bought her this thing. You can see this right here. You can see different various action figures, and she loves comic books. And I remember making a note like she likes a certain action figure. I'm gonna buy her a Voltron. She loves Voltron. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy her a Voltron. So I wrap it up and give it to her. Now remember all the other gifts and the expensive gifts that I got her. I think I spent like, $50, $100 maybe most. On this action figure, and she opened it up. She bawled and broke down, and like I was just like, wow, I wasn't expecting this huge reaction for an action figure because it reminded her of her childhood, the action figure of that generation. And so again, you never know. Sometimes to a woman's heart is sometimes not jewelry, but an action figure.
Man, praise the Lord.
Yeah, so if you guys see Naomi, you want to get her something. She loves Voltron and action figures too. So, but yeah, that's my little story there.
Man, that's awesome, bro. Yeah, it's amazing, man. I mean, I really do believe the greatest part of the giving is just, man, seeing
giving.
their response.
Yeah.
Just how, just that it makes it so worth it.
Speaking of gifts, and now we're going to go on to the extended conversation for the top 10 most expensive gifts in the world, Lodo. What is the most expensive gift ever in history? Well, this is from the financesonline.com, a little article. They're saying, you'd be hard pressed to pin down an answer for crystal clear, but if gift giving over the holidays is anything but to spread goodwill and happiness, well, in history, there is some big, hands down, huge expensive gifts. You ready to go to them?
Let's go. First of all, this is Christmas gifts. Not gifts, period, but during Christmas. Go ahead.
Number 10 is man's best friend. A massive was paid $1.5 million for a gift. I don't know. Would you pay $1.5 million for a dog?
Let me see. No.
This one is no less extraordinary and couldn't have gotten a better friend, master and owner, whatever strikes your fancy. It's a royalty. Which royalty, you ask? Why? Chris Brown's daughter, of course.
Oh,
yeah. So long story short, Chris paid a whopping $1.5 million for the mask. He had his precious girl find it tied to a lovely tree.
Man,
one Christmas morning. Yeah,
super cool. Oh, you know what? I take it back. Then my answer: if I had 1.5 million or whatever it costs, for baby girl, yes, absolutely.
Well, a famous Aaron Spelling, number 9, white Christmas gift. He paid $2 million to have snow generated, real fake snow, I guess you want to say, in California for his family. For those of you who don't know, Aaron Spelling, he produced such shows as The Love Boat, Charlie's Angels, Dynasty, Beverly Hills, and Aaron Spelling, he had a huge fortune. I mean, talking about major fortune of all these shows, and that's just to scratch the surface. What he did for his kids to make scorching hot California like polar caps for his kids, a giant snow machine did a trick, producing mountains of fake snow, which made a white Christmas for his family.
Yeah, and what's really cool is it was Tori Spelling, his daughter, was also a superstar in her own right.
Yeah.
That she loved it so much. She did the same thing for her kids, man.
Yeah, and that's right. In 2009, she did the same gift for her kids, creating memories. That's what it is, creating memories.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
$2 million memory, though. Okay. Yeah. Well, number 8, the waterfall gift. Back when Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt were an item, she paid $1.6 million for a gift to Brad Pitt.
Wow, I wonder if she got back half of it or all of it.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like a money pit.
I see what you did there. Okay.
Yeah. Number 7, Tyson moment, $2.3 million. Okay, what is this? Mike Tyson and Robin Givens, back in the day when they're an item too, bought Robin's a 24 karat gold bathtub. A bathtub worth $2.3 million back then. Who says a man did not have a golden heart?
Man, that 2.4 karat, did you say? Or what? 24 karat?
Yeah, a 24 karat gold bathtub.
I don't even know if I would climb in the bathtub that's 24 karat gold.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, talking about taking a bath with money. And for number 6, Hong Kong superstar Aaron Kwok, I believe I'm trying to say his name correctly, but he spent $2.6 million for his girlfriend then, Lin Hung, join. She saw this apartment. He wanted to make her happy. He bought it, and they lived happily never after, and didn't quite make it to the altar.
How much did he spend on it?
$2.6 million.
Okay.
All right. And number 5, Spend It Like Beckham, $3 million. Of course, the Beckhams are very known to spending a lot of money, but David and Victoria Beckham pulled up the headlines because they spent a whopping $2.4 million on a Mercurian ruby and diamond necklace. You spent that much money on the jewelry? Nah.
If I had that money.
If you had the money, huh?
Definitely, yes. Yeah.
And continuing,
for the wife.
Yeah, and continuing with the jewelry talk, number 4, a diamond and ruby ring for Liz went for $4.2 million. That's from the golden era. Elizabeth Taylor, well known for so many movies and her generation. an icon in Hollywood. That's a whopping $4.2 million. A great Christmas present there.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, number 3, a 22-year-old received from her father an $88 million Christmas present, Loto. And what was it? It was a luxurious, of course, real estate property that the famous Russian billionaire, the name is written below because I cannot pronounce it. So this is Dmitry something.
Yeah.
And the daughter is written right here too. Bought a huge gift worth millions for his daughter. Nothing like a father's love for his daughter.
Yeah.
$88 million.
Jeez.
Yep.
Is he adopting?
And we're already down to number 2. Evelyn's Jewel, star of the East, and Hope Diamond, upwards. Now watch this. $250 million. The late American mining heiress, Evelyn Walsh McLean, once owned 2 of the most famous jewels in history, the star of the East and the Hope Diamond.
Oh, yes.
You remember that one? And for number 1, the Orlov Diamond, priceless. There's not even a number you can attach because the Russian emperors, Catherine the Great, was overly fond of diamonds. So when in 189.62 carat diamond in the shape of a half chicken's egg from India came to her attention, she was smart to enlist the help of her lover, Count Orlov, to acquire it. Consequently, she named it Orlov's Diamond and had it encrusted in the imperial scepter.
Man, wow. Okay, so number 2 was what? Was that no, that wasn't 88. That was 295
$250 million.
250 million. My goodness, that is crazy. And priceless. This is, okay, now that's the most expensive. Yeah. It's kind of like the black cards, right? That the celebrities are carrying around. There's pretty much no limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a nice gift for Christmas, right?
Wouldn't it? Yeah, I would just give me $1 million. Give me $100,000.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you, Phil. That was awesome, brother.
Great find there, Lodo, for the top 10. That is the top 10 most expensive Christmas gifts in the world.
And Phil, you know, one thing that I find stunning about the gifts here, for those, I couldn't help noticing, but a lot of the couples are no longer couples.
Yeah.
They spent millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they still ended up splitting. I don't know. I can't help but notice that, and it makes me realize that, man, that when it comes to gifts, maybe it's not the amount of the dollars that's spent, you know, but maybe it's more than that. Actually, I keep saying maybe, but I know it is more than that. It's not just the money that we spend with people, right, or on people.
Yeah.
But I really believe, you know, I say it in schools all the time. The most precious commodity that we have to share with others is our time. When somebody passes away, nobody says like, oh man, I wish I had more money with this person. I wish I did this thing, you know, with this person more, you know. Everyone says, I wish I had more time with this person, you know. And it's sad because after millions and millions of dollars spent, man, we see a lot of these people who they're no longer together, you know. And I just pray, man, that moving towards Christmas, you know, that we come to a place that we understand, you know, that our greatest gifts is not what's in our wallet or in our bank accounts, you know, but or even hanging on a rack in some store somewhere or behind a glass box in a jewelry store, but that our greatest gifts is just each other. When it comes to the greatest gift of all, PhillVill, we know that list is incorrect, right? Because, you know, we all know the greatest gift of Christmas.
Yeah, we know the greatest gift of Christmas is Christ. I mean, without, you said it, without Christ, all you have left is a mess, right? That's what our pastor would say. And we want to make sure in this season, we do acknowledge our Savior and make sure that he is the focal point of all that we do. But looking back in times of Christmas, it wasn't always the case with my life. And you were saying earlier that those couples that they spend so much money on each other, but they end up staying together. And it reminded me of my parents. And I remember having some Christmases, they were together and it was a very tense house. If it was arguing, there were a lot of things going on. And being shuffled back and forth, that could leave an impression on us as kids. That was tough, Lodo. I don't know how it was for you, but there was Christmases that were kind of a little stressful.
You mentioned the term earlier, PhillVill, unhappy Christmas.
Yeah.
you know, and man, and thank you, because man, many of us have been touched by that. You know, many of us we have favorite Christmas memories, and then we have not so favorite Christmas memories. You know,
Yeah.
and the also thing is remembering that, you know, the greatest gift of Christmas, it's so important to remember that it is Christ, because Christ did come to give us hope. Christ did, like you mentioned earlier, he did come to give us peace, you know, and we're redundant on that because, PhillVill, it's a story that we're starting to lose a hold of.
Yeah.
You know, so many people are getting caught up, you know, in commercial Christmas. You know, we've said it before, and we said it, you know, with these couples, millions and millions of dollars, you know, to express their love, and I believe that it was genuine. But, you know, the Bible says, man, when you build, you know, anything, you know, outside of Christ, you're building on sand. But only building on Christ is building on the rock. You know, and so, man, you know, thank you for, you know, just really acknowledging those of us whose Christmas wasn't always so great.
Yeah, it's, you know, but I thank God for God's grace, and I thank God for new memories. And with our little daughter, Mia, and we talk about her a lot, but we're so blessed, and we got to count our blessings. God has blessed us. Think if we have breath in our lungs.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and again, you know, there's no perfect situation here, you know, because, hey, bro, we know a lot of people that did get saved.
Yeah.
They did, you know, they were married when they're saved, and they still fell apart.
Yeah.
We need to get back to Christ. We need to get back to Christ. So, beloved, I want to challenge you. That this Christmas, let's give the birthday boy a gift. The only gift that he wants is you. PhillVill, you know what I think the lesson is in this whole episode?
What's that?
If you want a healthy marriage that goes beyond $250 million, go buy her a Voltron or a 3-foot Christmas tree. Just crack the window open, right?
Well, hey, there it is, right there. Those are the things that are make it exciting. Just those little, you can't predict those moments, right?
Yeah.
Man, thank you for a great episode, great
Praise
gift
God.
of talking about all these gifts, and thank you for giving us the gift of being part of us every single week. We look forward to you being part of next week, and you have a Merry Christmas.
Love you guys. Lord bless.
You've been listening to Overflow, the extended conversation, obliterating social norms and overrunning the cultural corrosion with righteous rhetoric and common sense. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hit us up on social media at OverflowEXT. Lord bless, and we'll see you next time on Overflow, the extended conversation.